men before me about a very important issue happening in our community and the community around the world. September is Suicide Prevention, Self-Care, and Life Insurance Month. But I'm primarily going to focus on the first two. Now I'm going to ask you guys a personal question. Is it okay if I share my story with you tonight? Okay, thank you. I have never shared this story publicly before, but I myself am a suicide survivor. During my early 20s, I faced some of the hardest and darkest times of my life. I was homeless, pregnant with my first child, my daughter, and felt unloved, unwanted, and felt that I was a disappointment to everyone that had ever loved me or invested anything in me. I felt like I had no worth, no value, and that I would do everyone a favor if I just disappeared. I will never forget the parking lot of Bloomfield Avenue where I sat in my car overnight and in October, wanting to keep the exhaust on and drift into a sleep where when I woke up, I imagined, I would be in paradise. But more than remembering that feeling, that cold, dark, foreboding, heavy feeling that later I recognize now as depression, I remember the thing I did. And I don't know why I did it at the moment. And I don't know why I knew to do it at the time. But before I closed my eyes that night, and as I rubbed my stomach, I remembered that I prayed. I asked the Most High to use me as his vessel because in my spirit, I knew that this feeling wasn't right. Why would my Creator make me just to forsake me? I didn't know this at the time, but now that I look back on this experience, that is now my testimony more than a decade later. I realized that maybe physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was checked out, completely detached from this world. But my spirit, that not only chose this life, but remembered its purpose, remembered its mission, remember why it asked the Creator to be here in this time, in this space, born to this incredible, God-loving mother, and an incredible, God-revering father, to an incredible family, and an ever-growing community of friends and loved ones, to be a mother of two angels to whom my life is now dedicated, and a mentor, helpmate, and a friend to humanity. My spirit did not let my body, my mind, nor my heart give up. My spirit is what communicated to my Creator that night, before my body went to sleep. It told me to rise up and to rise again. That in deconstruction, there is reconstruction. And from the ashes, the fire of the phoenix shall always be reborn. All I had to do was reclaim the power that was already mine, and realignment would happen naturally. My spirit remembered that this life was, what the famous quote says, not happening to me, but for me. And that there are never any losses, only lessons, but only if I choose to learn them. I share this story because a decade later, after culminating the truths of life through 23 different cultures, religions, traditions, and civilizations, and extensive historical and life research, I realized that there are four components to the human being that is a universal truth: the physical, the logical, the emotional, and the spiritual. There are also two energies within every living being: the masculine and the feminine. So why say this? Well, I don't know which one of you ladies need to hear this tonight, but yes, it is the law of the universe that you are, in every atom and cell of your being, the goddess, the prophetess, and the priestess that you have heard echoed about throughout history, rumored about throughout religions, and whispered about throughout the cosmos. While mankind is the god of the earth, you, womankind, are the goddess of the heavens. And in the month of self-care, it is crucial to know why true self-care is important for all living things, but is a necessity for the feminine energy and the female. For when the woman is allowed to care for herself, her people, her community, and the world heals and loves with her. Now, self-care has become a little bit of a buzzword lately, a little bit of a trend. And I get it, ladies. We are finally financially independent, socially independent, and can get our nails done, get massaged, travel, light some candles, and for some of us, incense and sage, grab a bottle of wine, turn on a good Netflix binge, or even dress up and take ourselves out to our own 3-star Michelin restaurant date. And this is not only a milestone achievement, it is a historical one, as women have been subjugated for eons to be recognized as the equal counterpart to the one flesh that is humanity. But I'm going to ask tonight that we expand this perspective, this definition of self-care a little bit more. See, while the term self-care might indicate that the benefits should be for self, I want to challenge that tonight. I want to argue that true self-care, if detrimental to our communities, is not self-care at all. And vice versa can also be said. A community that does not foster one to practice true self-care, especially the female, is doomed to fail. But what does true self-care mean? Well, I would say, as much as I love, and I'm sure many of us tonight can agree, my quarterly spa dates, and my mother and I go to Sojo every year on her birthday. And if I was president, spa day would be a national holiday. True self-care is so much deeper than that. It is remembering who you are, why you are. It is prayer. It is practice of gratitude, discipline, love, patience, empathy. It is reclaiming your power from those who you've given it to or from those who have taken it from you, and realigning your life to reflect all 4 components of who you are. It is harmony, and that harmony radiating out to everything and everyone you touch. While spas, candlelit dinners, and wax appointments are fantastic and well-deserved, let's break this down. If those activities are what can be tied to physical self-care, how do you logically and mentally self-care? How do you emotionally self-care? And the true self-care, how do you spiritually self-care? When true self-care is practiced, it is radiated and is felt. But the reason, the purpose for self-care is to get ready for you to live in yours. As I stand before you today in Suicide Prevention Month, we cannot ignore the tragedy of what is, and now at historic numbers, the male suicide rate. Globally, the suicide rates of men are more than double the rates for women, a long-standing pattern confirmed by the World Health Organization. And while the latest comprehensive global statistics are for 2021, reports have shown and reaffirmed this rate in 2024 and 2025, that men are the majority of suicidal deaths worldwide. And while I can congratulate women for having a lower statistic, I'm sure we can all agree that one suicide, no matter who commits it, is one too many. In the United States, the male rate is nearly 4 times higher, as the sister echoed earlier, than the female rate. The age groups in the studies range anywhere from 25 years of age to over 75. What does this mean? It means that we are losing our sons, our nephews, our brothers, our fathers, our husbands, and our uncles at historical rates. More often than not, a man you walk across in everyday life feels unloved, worthless, valueless, and worst of all, in my opinion, purposeless. Do not let the materialism, or ego of their masculine logic deceive you. As once you remember, you know that these things are often used as masks to validate one's value in the world, but often result in vain and shallow reward. Do not let your masculine energy, women, deceive you, as your power lies in the being you chose to be this time around. As us women practice self-care in this month and the following months to come, I challenge us to be ready for what this self-care is really preparing us for. One more suicide is one too many, but so is one more murder, one more starving child, one more homeless, one more impoverished, one more war. The world is crying out for its emotional and spiritual leaders to return. I challenge the men for the masculine energy to retire and to rest in the care of the divine feminine, and to sit back and admire all the work that you have done to get humanity to where it is now. Our lights, our infrastructure, our laws, our technologies, even our philosophies. Let the feminine energy rise. Let the feminine energy, the true leaders, I want to repeat, the true leaders of emotionality and spirituality lead the next era of humanity into its true purpose through empathy, understanding, healing, and the love of the Most High Creator. Let us teach you vulnerability, love. In your retirement, allow us to balance out and help us dissipate the overly masculine energy in us, as is a result of you leading for so long. And let us lead the dance. But because you were great in leading salsa, but if you didn't notice, it shifted the soca. And that's a shout out to my Trinidadian Caribbean roots. So I want to conclude this talk with two quotes, both famously known. John chapter 10, verse 27 through 28. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life. In Matthew chapter 22, verse 14, for many are called, but few are chosen. How I interpret these two quotes is that many, if not all of us, can hear spirit. It is innate, and it is eternal. But whether you choose to live in your purpose or to give up without fulfilling it is your choice. And yes, sometimes, if not a lot of times, the choice will be difficult. Remembering your purpose is not going to be easy, because to live in it means to know sacrifice. But as we use this month to continue to shed a light on the darkness that is suicide, I ask you, all of you, to not give up. Do not give into the darkness. I challenge you to remember and reclaim your purpose and to live in it, despite the difficulties and despite the challenges. Do not just hear the call, answer it. Use and practice true self-care to brighten your light for others, for those that you might not know need you. Because for all that you can remember and know your life to be, your design and your purpose in this whole world could be to help someone else remember and reclaim theirs. Thank you, Monique, again. Thank you, Unity. And thank you all for listening. And if you remember anything from tonight, remember this. You are never lost. You are just remembering. You are already aligned by design. And welcome back. Good night.